My career with Lantra started way back in about 2003 when a lady, Mary Mitchell, asked if I would help to do the Rural Skills course at Redolvin Academy, along with Alec Towns, who was a teacher at that time. We've done this with various teachers. Alec Towns was the first one, and Pete Butter there, who's just retired, and we now moved on to Douglas Woodrow, who's the geography teacher who's taken it over. As a farm business, we identified a need for pupils at the school and everyone in general to need to know where the food came from. We thought there was a huge disconnect between the farmers who produced the food and what people knew about where the food came from. So when people came out, we weren't too bothered whether the pupils actually went on to have a career in agriculture or not. We were just worried about whether they knew where the food came from. And if they went on to have a career in agriculture, forestry or anything like that, then we were quite happy. We tried to highlight with the Rural Skills programme that it's a 7-day routine in agriculture, and before they committed to a course that was to be 7-day working or getting their hands dirty, we felt this was a good way of doing it. We try and teach about basic animal husbandry and what the cattle and sheep are fed on, and if you look around your tables today, you'll see there's various things sitting in your tables in little plastic bags with labels on them. That's some of the things we use to teach the pupils what goes into the animal husbandry, what we produce on the farm to feed the animals. We also try and do numeracy skills as well, because that's one of the things you need in modern agriculture. And we try and do it as simply as we can on the farm. And one of the things we started doing was a basic fencing course. And if you tell the pupils that there's putting up a fence of 90 metres, say, and they need a post every 3 metres, you get them to decide for themselves how many posts they need. I can see all the wheels going round. Who's going to tell me how many posts you need if they're 90 metres and it's spaced at 3 metres? 30 posts. Okay, you would do well. If anybody gets it wrong and says 50 posts, we make them pick up 50 posts and carry them out the length of the fence. And if there's 20 extra posts at the end of the fence, then they've got it wrong. And they don't get it wrong the next time, believe me. And it's the same with animal feeding and things. The last day the pupils are out before the Christmas holidays, obviously they're not out for 2 weeks. So we work out how much feeding we need for a day and tell them to prepare the feeding of how much we would need for the fortnight of the school holidays. And we sit and watch what they're doing. Teacher and I stand back and let them just work it out themselves. If they get it wrong, we tell them they've got to come out between Christmas and New Year in their own time and bag up extra feeding if they get it wrong. There's all sorts of ways you can teach people about farming with just hands-on stuff out on the farm. And we have to be aware of health and safety as well. And sometimes we just let the pupils observe us doing things. If you've got a cow on the farm who's got a brand new calf, Sheena and some of the people that are involved in agriculture will know that you have to tag all your new calves within 28 days of birth and register them. And on that table over there, there's an animal tag and there's a passport if you can hold it up. Every animal, every cow in Britain has to have one of those. I think there's only about between 80 and 100 cows in Britain that don't actually have a passport that are illegal. There's far more illegal people in the country than there are illegal cows. So that's all the traceability things we teach them about as well. There's also communication skills as well. If you're working on a farm, you perhaps see the farm foreman first thing in the morning, 7, half 7. You have to be able to take orders, communicate with your fellow workers. If there's something that you're not sure about, you have to have the confidence to stand up, speak to your fellow workers. Instead of blundering on and getting something wrong, communicate with people, do something about the problem. So it's all about being interactive. And on the Rural Skills Day, one of the health and safety things we do is tell the pupils they're allowed to use their mobile phone. And they don't call me Mr. Thompson when they come out, they call me Sandy. Obviously, if you're in the workplace, it's first name terms with your colleagues, so communications and interaction like that, we try and get that over to them as well. And they're allowed to have their mobile phones on. Today, Friday and Wednesday, the teacher did the first health and safety day with them on the school. They're not out until next Tuesday with me. But he got them to identify the grid references of the farm, the postcode of the farm as well, so they actually know where they are. In the event of an accident, they have to be able to use their phone, they have to be able to tell an ambulance or an air ambulance or the police where they are. So communication skills like that are very important as well. We try and highlight that as well.